know, I've seen a lot of people bitching and complaining and actually trying to tell me who I'm supposed to be cool with or, you know, interview or even have on my show today, especially. Well, to all those people who obviously don't know who I am, they can screw themselves because I get to choose who I'm friends with and who I'm cool with. And Nick Rekieta is a freaking homie, and I am very excited to have him back on the show. And I'm sure there's a lot of people. I wrote it in the description. You either love him, you hate him. It really is no in between. And for me, it's great to have you back, buddy. How you doing?
Hey, man, it's good to be back. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. I appreciate it.
It's good to see you. I'm great. I'm a dad now. Did you know? Did you know that?
I saw. I mean, like,
I
read it.
Right.
But yeah,
it's awesome, dude.
Well, I'm happy about that.
Yeah, he's 14 months today.
Don't give him cocaine. Like, don't do that. Rumor has it it's bad to do. Like, you shouldn't do it.
Okay.
Telling me they're like, hey, you can't give your kids cocaine. I'm like, God, holy shit. I gotta tell other people. I gotta let them know.
You know what? Let me write this down. I don't want to, you know, fatherly tips from Nick Rekieta. This is great. All right. No cocaine. All right. Done. That's number 1 on the list.
Whew, got that out of there. Yeah, I was worried that you were going to fall into that trap really early. And it's like, no, you got to wait till they're a little older, but still you don't. Don't do
What's the appropriate age range that you have the conversation?
Well, it kind of depends if the government tells, like, if the government tells your kids that you're doing a bunch of drugs, then you have to have that conversation a lot earlier than planned.
Right. Yeah.
My kids had no idea. They had no idea about any of it. They're not, they were homeschooled and stuff, so they weren't overly exposed to something like the DARE program, which the DARE program teaches kids how to do drugs. It's the funniest.
Right.
That's
pretty funny. It's so true.
My kids had no idea, like, about anything involving any drugs. And I was like, how do you guys not know any of this, like, at all? And I went, oh, wait, you didn't go to DARE. If you went to DARE, you would know how to do cocaine,
right.
Do heroin, you'd know how to do, like, weed, you'd know how all these things came about. And they don't know any of that. So that was funny, though. Like, funny, not really, but how the government told my kids, like, they're like, oh, don't you know that your parents are doing this? I was like, I've worked so fucking hard to keep that away from them. And you just bust the door down. And now my kids just make fun of me for it. So that's okay.
That's a good attitude of them. I mean, so how did it even come about that anyone knew that? Like, why did they bust your door down? Like, what led to that?
A couple things. We'll never know the full story. And by we, I mean, I won't ever know the full story because there's no use in complaining about this. I can't change it. I pled guilty. I'm doing my probation sentence. And so that's all done. There's a very limited possibility that you could ever go after what happened. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
That being said, there are conversations that occurred prior to the warrant and prior to my arrest that we were never given. We weren't even told about. These are things that they should have been required to provide in discovery, and they just didn't. They didn't do it. There's a conversation that happened with April's mother. There's a conversation that happened with my mother-in-law. These are not recorded. They are not reported anywhere. It took forever to find out about them. There's also another call that happened with another one of my wife's family members that preceded the arrest. And I have reason to believe that that conversation involved information from another person who we won't really talk about too much. But all of this stuff happened. I know that it happened now. I didn't know when I was fighting the criminal case, because the government, if they don't give you stuff, you can't go get it. Like, you can tell the court, you can bitch about it, but I can't subpoena the cops' phone calls. If I was suing you, I could subpoena your phone records. right? Like if I could show that there was relevance to getting information out of there, I could subpoena your phone records and go through them. With the cop, even though they record all the phone calls and they have an incident log for every single one of them, you can't go after it, which is crazy, but that's how it is.
Was it legal? Was it legal what they did?
It's really hard.
Gray area?
It's hard to say because I don't have enough information. I will say I don't believe that it was legal. I don't believe that. I mean, look, I had the stuff. Like I'm not saying anything other than that. My fault for having illegal drugs in my house, right? But how the warrant came about is tainted in several ways. I can't go after it anymore. There's no profit to me like saying this and being like, I can press on it. I can't. The judge who signed the warrant has been forced to resign as a judge because
I heard that. Yeah, you mentioned that on your stream last week.
Yeah, she has been, she was caught taking retaliatory action against lawyers, against defendants, against other judges, anyone who spoke negatively about her. Well, in the video that they used to justify the raid on my house, I said that she was such an alcoholic, if you wrung her out, liquor would come out of her vagina.
That's good. That's funny.
I stand by that statement. You will not for me to back down. That bitch had to resign. Fuck her. I hate her. That being said, it's kind of crazy to think that a judge can go through and utilize a video that openly disparages that judge and not recuse himself and have another judge make the warrant decision.
Right.
That shouldn't have been allowed. However, that judge was still practicing in good standing up until after my sentencing. Like that happened later. So and as that stuff happens and as you get this information, you go, well, fuck me. This would have been nice. You know, and it took over a year or about a year for me to get sentenced. So it's not like it happened quick. You know, it's not like there wasn't enough time to get this stuff. This stuff should have been disclosed. It should have been released, but it wasn't. I can't ever, the obvious answer is that it was legal because a judge said it was legal and we lost on the appeal. So it's legal. There's new information now, probably not sufficient to overturn what happened. There's not really any benefit in me doing so. It's easier. Like it would make my probation shorter, but we're talking about, another year to 2 years of a legal fight at least to get that done. It's not going to happen overnight if I were to do it. And it's not so easy because of deadlines that have already passed. So we'd have to get permission to go after all this stuff. It's
It's just not worth it.
Correct. It's easier to just go ahead and do, like, again, I had the drugs. They were illegal. I know, like I did it. I was perfectly content fighting to preserve as many of my rights as I could and make sure that I was given my opportunity to be heard. I had it. But I was also perfectly content going, okay, like I did this. Now I face my punishment. I don't agree that the punishment should exist. I'm morally ambivalent on drugs. I don't have a moral problem with them, but society has a legal problem with them, and I should have taken more care and recognized that, and I didn't. So now I pay the price.
Quick question on those drugs. Now, have you seen Captain America?
Which
the
one?
movie? The first Captain America from Marvel.
Yeah.
The good before they went to shit.
Right.
So he takes the true or the super serum, and then he's realizing, or Bucky dies. I think it was one of maybe the next movie, and he's trying to drink and he can't drink.
Get drunk
because his metabolism's so strong. So with having such a large nose, do you have to like intake more to like offset the size of your nose?
I told him, it's not my cocaine, it's everyone else's that's around in the tri-state area. I just breathe in and it happens. It's not my fault.
It just ends up in your room. I sneezed and anyway.
Well, every time I sneeze, there's a nor'easter.
Yeah. Oh, and then it blows out, and then it gets in the hair of the kids who are playing in the other room. Right? We figured it out.
We figured that out.
We figured it out. I knew it.
That brings us to the next obvious question. This test that came out.
Yeah.
Interestingly,
explain this.
The test itself has not come out. The test itself is
never
correct. The results of the test are contained inside an order, and the order, the question that the court was answering with that order was, should the kids go back into the house, or should they remain outside of the house for a longer period of time during the emergency removal? The problem that the county had was they didn't have anything to justify the kids being outside of the home. And I'll even,
or taken in the first place, I think.
Yeah, the reason they took them is because when there's drugs in a home, they take kids. I don't think that that's appropriate. I don't believe in the state being a useful addition to the lives of children in general, but that's a personal sort of bias. That being said, the state will automatically remove children if there's drugs in the home until they're sure that there aren't drugs in the home. Well, we had wanted to get after it happened, they took everything, and then we went through and, got the house completely cleaned up and made sure there was nothing left around, right? Like in a jacket pocket or something.
Sure.
Which could have happened. Thank God it didn't. That being said, all they did was they took this test, and they used that test to say that it justified them keeping the kids out of the home because they didn't know what happened. They never accused us of giving our child cocaine, because that's crazy. Anyone with children or who's done cocaine, or particularly both, knows that you wouldn't do that. Like, you'd be driving yourself. You barely want to give your kids caffeine because they go nuts. You imagine giving them an extremely strong stimulant, and it's just not something you'd want to do.
True.
That being said, we don't really know how the test result occurred. The first person who was mad about the test result was me. And my wife. We were both there. And I said, this is bullshit. There's no fucking way. We were exceedingly careful. And I had to really monitor how I said anything, because at the time, anything I said would be used in the criminal case. But I knew for a fact that there was never an opportunity for that child to get into anything. Everything was in a locked safe, and that locked safe came with me when I left the house. I never wanted I didn't want us to get swatted and have something happen while the babysitter's there with the kids or anything like that.
Right.
So I had it with me. It was a big personal risk because, if they search your car or whatever, but to me, that's way more important. I'll take the risk rather than put it on my kids, obviously. I asked them immediately. I said, we want them to redo the test. And they said, no, they wouldn't do it. And at the time, we didn't have custody of our children. We didn't have legal or physical custody of the children. We were not able to get that test done. We weren't able to see them without supervision at the time. And if we had somehow taken the kids and then taken them to the testing facility, they would say, no, the county has the legal authority to make this decision. So we couldn't get it retested. That was our first thing, is because we wanted to find out what happened too.
Right.
We don't know. I have a guess. This is a complicated issue for two reasons. One, you don't know what happened. And two, the only guess that you can come up with is the best evidence that you have. But you have no idea if that is the correct thing. The best evidence that I have and can actually reasonably put together is that a police officer, not nefariously, during the raid, did use gloves that were touching cocaine and touched my child's hair. That happened. I have it on video.
You do?
Yes, I have all of that. And again, he was not being nefarious. My child she was about to leave with her grandparents, and she wanted her iPad. So she went into the house like she normally would and started walking to go get her iPad. Well, they didn't want her walking up on another, I assume they didn't want her walking up on another officer, or maybe disturbing some other area of the house where they were looking for stuff. So he just gently, he grabbed her and said, sweetie, you need to wait. And he just had his hand on her hair. Nothing special, nothing crazy about it. He wasn't trying to do anything with it. That's the best evidence I can come up with. The most likely outcome, or the most likely cause, is a lab error, something like that. But since we were not accused of doing this, we never had to fight the test. We never got the opportunity to refute the test. They never brought in an expert to explain the test. All they had to do was say, we have reason to believe that there was that something happened where contact was made inside the home with this child. And in fairness, that very likely is true through the gloves that touched her hair. And I mean, those gloves had handled cocaine literally a minute or less before they touched her hair. It's not like this is an attenuated point or something. The cop, they had moved the cocaine safe from the master bathroom. They took it outside and cracked it open, and they brought it back in the house, which is insane to me. They brought it back into the house to the bathroom that's in the foyer. And my daughter, of course, when she went in to get her iPad, went into that area, the foyer area. And so they had it within 10 feet of where she's standing. And that guy had just been handling, bags of cocaine and ketamine and stuff like that. So that's my best guess. I know for a fact that my daughter didn't do cocaine. My daughter is also, despite the fact that our children are homeschooled, my daughter's around adults all the time. Tons of activities. We're very active in the community. Our kids are very active in the community. No one had any idea about any of this stuff. So that being said, I'll forever wonder what caused that. Like I said, the most likely outcome is a lab error. I wish we would have gotten discovery from the lab to see if we could, figure that out. But they chose not to do that. They chose not to give us that even when we requested it and when we requested it again. They didn't give us that information. But like I said, they didn't accuse us of it, so we didn't have to fight it. If you can't,
why is the internet like holding that? That's one of the main things that I see of your haters is bringing that up. Like how did that? Did it get out?
So, like I said, it was in an order. The judge to justify extending the emergency hold on the children. That's all it was.
Okay. I see. So they referenced this test.
Yeah. This test result came, it tested at over this amount, and therefore that's a finding of fact in the thing. It doesn't say why it happened because no one has any idea. I have had conversations with the social workers. I'm like, you realize this is insane. Like this didn't happen. And they said, we don't believe that you gave your daughter coke. Like we don't believe that. My children were all examined. They all had medical examinations, and they were all interviewed independent of us, without our knowledge, without our ability to influence it. This all happened while we were arrested right away. When all this happens, they all say the same thing. They've never seen drugs. They've never seen their parents on drugs. They don't know at all what this would look like or anything like that. And then the next thing was their medical records, or not their medical records, their medical test results were all completely normal. Like these are all normal kids. They don't have any signs of any sort of drug use or anything like that. So now I'm just left with it. There's nothing I can do about it. At one point, I may put together a whole presentation on it. That's been complicated quite a bit by people trying to get the body cam footage, because the video that shows it is body cam footage. And people are trying
that shows the officer grabbing or holding back your daughter. Okay.
Yeah, because obviously it happened during the raid, so it's caught on the body cams of a couple different officers. But until that's resolved, I can't release any of the body cam stuff. It's in the realm of an ongoing legal dispute. And but yeah, so once that's done, maybe I can put things together with screenshots and like I can look. I approached this problem the same way I would approach it if it came from one of my clients, which was start researching everything you can about this testing and figure out what the hell happened. Because that's the best thing I could do. And people don't really seem to understand how drug testing works, particularly how hair follicle testing works and stuff like that, which is fine. But I can put together like a presentation with all the papers and everything, but it gets really boring to talk about.
Yeah.
So I won't spend too much time on it here, but
Well, you shouldn't anyway, because the people that it would be for are the people that hate you, and those people are not gonna like be like, well, all right, I was wrong. No, they are gonna think you're lying, and it
yeah,
doesn't really matter what that video will show anyway. So
right. And the funny thing about all this, one of the funny things to me is people who say like, your kids are going to find out about this, your kid, blah, blah, they'll see all this. It's like, they were there, right?
they
Like,
know already. Okay.
my kids know that they didn't do drugs. So like, if you say over and over that they did, like, they're not going to believe you. I don't know. I don't know if you figured
Right.
that out or not.
That is kind of ridiculous, though, when I see these people. So what were the charges? What did you end up getting charged with?
So I was charged initially with second-degree possession of a
Okay.
controlled substance, which just means that you had a mixture of 25 grams or more of powders, basically,
Okay.
is second-degree possession, which got dropped to third degree, but we'll get to that in a second.
Sure.
The other thing I was charged with was child endangerment because there were drugs in the house. To be very clear on that, child endangerment charge had nothing to do with the hair follicle test because the hair follicle test was not done
Okay.
until later. You're like you said, if there's drugs in the house and with children, they charge you. Now, this may be unfair. I have a big house. You could have drugs in one part of it and the children could not be exposed. When you get down
Right.
to people who live in different income levels or in different, even just different circumstances, like a house in LA that is the same as my house is going to be like 1,400 square feet, whereas mine's 5,000, right? You're going to be a lot closer in proximity. So
Sure.
they automatically charge it out. They dropped it right away in the plea negotiations. And the last thing was having firearms in the house with drugs, which the firearms
Okay.
have been fired, and since we moved here, they were sitting in a box. The cops write everything in a way that makes it look as bad as possible. For example, they said that they found my rifle with loose ammunition, which is not true. The ammunition was in boxes. The ammunition was also for a 45 auto handgun and a 380 and 380 whatever round 380 caliber handgun.
308.
No,
Oh, okay.
So
380. Okay.
yeah, so it's like, okay, there were bullets near the gun, but they wouldn't work in that gun. Like, it's not possible to do that. If you tried, you might die or whatever. So that's how they word and write things. But yeah, so they dropped that charge as well. So I entered into a plea agreement where I pled guilty to third degree possession, which is was actually the appropriate charge because the initial weight that they weigh the bags and the containers in the field. So it came out
Okay.
to 26 grams. And if you're over 25 grams, it's second degree. Well,
Uh-huh.
there's 4 bags. They weigh about a gram each, gram to 2 grams. And so when you take that
The
into
bags themselves.
right, you take that
Okay.
into account, and suddenly you're down to 19 grams. Is what they ended up weighing out. So that's a third degree possession charge. And so I pled guilty to that. They dismissed the drug charge or the gun charge and the kid charge, and they dismissed all the charges against my wife, and they dismissed all the charges against our friend April.
Okay. So it all was just on you. That's honestly probably best case scenario.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, it's true. It was my stuff in my safe.
Okay.
They didn't know the combo to the safe. So I was the one who could get it out. It wasn't theirs. I'm the one who
Right.
bought it. I'm the one who would go get it.
Mhm.
So that was one, it was true. 2, they were going to come after me no matter what, and they were going to get their guy, that was going to happen. So it didn't make sense to have more than one person it wasn't going to reduce my charge if someone else had to bear part of the blame. Right. So it was going to hit all of us. So I just negotiated away their charges.
Nice. I mean,
Supposed to do, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I think that was the right scenario, or right thing to do. You take the fall. So now you got probation for what? How long? I don't know if you talking publicly about it, but
5 years.
5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly,
It's
all right.
so the original charge had a max of 25 years of probation. So getting 5 years, I think, is not the worst thing that could possibly happen. I'll take it.
And no prison.
Correct. No prison time, no jail time, other than the initial arrest. I was there for about 26 hours total. And
Okay.
but then no jail after that. I did have to do 80 hours of community service, which I completed. That's actually, it was kind of fun. Like, I mean,
I've done community service before. It was
I mean,
chill.
I just worked with some people outside. I don't normally do that, so it was kind of a nice change of pace.
Yeah. I picked up trash in like a park reserve.
We
It's
did
like, this is dope.
we did lawn care for the most part. I was mostly like, we'd drive out to all these boat launches and county owned property, and we'd, the main guy who
It's
worked
like clean up the edging.
Yeah, he'd go out on the riding lawnmower and he'd mow everything. And then so we'd go out and wherever there were signs or trees, because you got government fucking signs everywhere. Like, no.
Yeah.
So you had to weed whip around all those so it looked nice. But that's mostly what we did. A little bit of car, like fleet maintenance when it was rainy and stuff like that, but mostly that, which I don't mind doing yard work. I don't want to do it at my house, but I'll do other people's yard work. It's fine.
Yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with mowing the lawn. I like it when it's done and I just finish and I'm like, hell yeah, I just did that. But man, it's so much, and it comes back so fast. Anyway, I hate it.
Well, my lawn's terrible. Like, my lawn is several acres of grass. I wouldn't want to do mine, but for the county, like we're popping over to these places. It takes 15 minutes per spot. And so it's really chill. And we'd listen to the radio and talk politics. Everybody in there is a Republican, which is except for like when we had there was a trans person in there one time, like they were super liberal, and it's right after Charlie Kirk got shot. And they're like, he hated everybody like me. I'm like, Charlie didn't hate you. Like, get over it.
It's like, how many hours did you actually listen to anything Charlie actually said?
Right.
Probably none.
It's like Charlie's the guy who would sit down and listen to every word that you said if you went to one of his events. Like that.
Exactly.
That's not someone who hates trans people. He doesn't want U.S. policy being influenced by trans activists. That's way different. But most of the time was spent, we'd talk politics and we just talk about like the guy who ran the program. He'd been doing it for 25 years. So like he has all these stories about maintaining. There was a state mental hospital and stuff, like, so he was around back when this hospital was just getting out of order, and so he had to maintain the graveyard and shit. So he'd tell us stories about that, like it's nuts. But it was not bad. I didn't want to do it. I was whiny about it, but like once I started and I realized like this isn't going to be bad, it was fine.
Yeah, that's chill. So yeah, 5 years, and that's it. I mean, can you not drink, or are you just not drinking?
I cannot drink. If I'm tested randomly, I have to wake up every morning. Well, every day I have to check this website by 4 p.m. and find out if I need to test that day or not. And then if I test positive for any drugs or alcohol, I risk going to prison. So I don't do it at all. Yeah. Some people, tried to send me tips on how to beat the test and stuff. I'm like, I would go to prison for 2 years.
Yeah. I'm not. The best way is just to not drink and not do any drugs. Like, it's pretty easy.
It kind of sucks, like sometimes, but the alternative is, well, I could go to prison. And it's like, it doesn't suck as much after that when you think about it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, are you still sponsored by Baldo? Did they drop your sponsorship?
That, from my understanding, the company. So I was really frustrated after getting arrested. The company invalidated. There's a government seizure on the company for some reason, and I could have bought it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I could have bought the entire company.
Oh, you could have been the owner of Baldo.
Yeah,
missed opportunity. Damn.
But I was obviously in a really bad spot.
Yeah. I
wasn't prepared to do it, but yeah, I believe the British government seized it. You can still buy them. I checked that they are still for sale,
Okay.
which is hilarious. I think my promo code probably works. I don't know. That promo code knows. See if it works.
That's hilarious. Anyone? Can anyone attest if it still works? No? All right. You don't have to go buy a Baldo right now. Oh, that's funny though. So you just got all right, well, I mean, that's all that. I mean, I thanks for filling me in. I mean, we talked right before we went live, but just to let everyone know, like I really didn't follow it too closely because I wanted to wait until the dust kind of settled and hear it from the man himself. And I did do that interview with Legal Mindset, and it was just it was still too many variables that were unknowns that seemed to be confused with what the internet was saying versus what the courts were saying. So I'm just glad to have that over with and moving forward. You just you just got some channels back on YouTube.
Yeah, I did.
I heard. Yeah.
I had created a media channel a long time ago just to park stuff that I like talking about but didn't fit on my main channel. And then for a while I was setting up a live streaming channel, and I was going to do streams over there, like, video on demand content on my main channel and try and grow that out, but keep all the streams in one place. Now I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I was sitting around last night and I was like, you know what? I'm going to appeal these and see how that goes. And I wake up this morning, it says, we reviewed it and they didn't violate the terms of service. So you got them back. And I was like, what? Oh. Okay.
So how many subs are on them?
About 15,000 each.
Pretty good.
I don't know if they were monetized. I don't know if they still are. Like, I don't know how that works. I got to check.
Yeah.
But
start uploading VODs or, putting stuff on there. Why not?
Yeah. And so I did a show with Camelot the other day, and we talked about a lot of movies, for example. And so I have a bunch of like shorts and clips that are about movies. I'm like, well, these don't really go. These wouldn't go in the main channel at all, but that's a perfect place for them. And I love talking about
that's a good point.
Music and art and stuff like that, and literature. But it just doesn't fit in with the legal talk as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. What are you into music? Like, are you a musician at all? I don't know if that side of you, if you are.
No, I wish I was. Like, I wish I knew how to play an instrument. I love to sing. And I know music through that. But
okay.
Mainly when I talk about like discussing music, it's from a lyrics perspective, putting the English major in work.
Yeah, I just I don't know if you noticed, I have a totally redid my studio and got a new camera, and I also got some new music gear. I have a Boss RC505 Mark II loop station.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I just got it
the other day.
Dude,
I don't know how that shit works. I always whoever can do that, like, madam.
Yeah. I've spent the last like 4 hours playing with it basically, and like being able to harmonize with myself on the fly, and being able to like add beats, and this is my wife's little piano that I'm borrowing until I have a MIDI player come in. And it is so amazing the amount of things, because like I wasn't into musical instruments either. I wanted to sing. I'm a singer, and that's why I started playing guitar. And I just was like, I really just want to be able to sing. So being able to have like this, I'm borrowing one of her little vocal mics, and being able to just throw down like a little quick guitar riff. Yeah. And then just let it play, put the guitar down, and then try different things, sing over it, write lyrics, actually, because when you're sitting and playing guitar to try to hear it, it kind of gets annoying. But I'm like, this way I could just throw it down real quick on the track and let it play.
Listen to it play.
Oh man, it's awesome.
So I've always liked that idea. Like, but I just never had the time. Well, I never had the attention when I was a kid to learn how to play an instrument, and I had started to teach myself piano right before I started recording on YouTube. And literally, like, I'd spent a month going through, and I was learning to play a couple songs, and then because I can read music, I'm just slow. And so I was just kind of learning that part. And then I released the first video on YouTube, and then I was like, well, I'm busy. I don't have time for this anymore. But I always wanted to learn how to play. All of my kids play. All of my kids play 3 instruments at least.
3. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's a lot.
They all play violin.
Pretty impressive.
They all play piano. And
okay.
And then my oldest plays like marimba and xylophone, marimba, whatever.
Yeah.
And a couple other percussion instruments. I
mean, if you understand piano, like if you could fundamentally understand piano and play piano, you could basically pick up any instrument,
right,
and find where the keys are. You know what I mean? And like figure out how to play music through the knowledge of piano. Because playing piano, I've been playing a lot of piano for my son. My wife's a pianist, and we have pianos all over the house. And so I'm like, I'm just pick it up. So over the past 2 years, I've been playing piano and learning the keys and which keys make a chord. And now I'm understanding the guitar so much more because of just because the keys are the notes. They're literally laid out in a row. So you kind of are forced music theory to be ingrained in your head. It's pretty great.
Yeah. And that's the part that I would still like to eventually get back to, is I would do that. Have you seen this? I keep seeing an ad for it on Instagram, and I'm going to buy it for my kids, even if they don't want it. It's this Rolly, I think it's called Rolly piano keypad thing.
Okay. No, so what is just a MIDI controller? You just roll out and it's a little piano.
You gotta see
like
it.
A flat. Okay.
So they have a couple of things. I'll pull it up. I'll share the screen in just a second.
I am locked out of my Instagram because I don't have my American number anymore, and it keeps sending me these, get back into Instagram and do this stuff, and I'm like, all right, we'll check out the we're gonna need you to give us the text message from, so like someone who has my number is getting a text message every so often. I just stopped trying.
Sure.
Oh yeah, this is these are really interesting.
Nisha, they have a piano learning system.
Yeah,
but this is different. This is like you said, it's like a MIDI controller that's laid out like a keyboard.
Yeah, they're jelly. I played on this in Guitar Center like a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Like I want my kids to play around with it because they make cool stuff. Like that's just what they do. And so that's what I want to like. But I would love to be able to learn like stuff like, but you got to start with piano. But to learn,
that's way more legit than any roll up piano. I wasn't sure what you meant by roll up piano, but
Rolly is just a brand.
Yeah, Rolly. Yeah, but that is cool because you can like physically move side to side, and it does like a vibrato, and then you can like scroll up, and it kind of raises the octave. Yeah, insane the amount of stuff you can do.
There's an attachment where you can like you can control stuff like up in the air too. Like you can
like a theremin?
Yeah, very similar.
Interesting. Okay.
It's really cool. And I'm like, God, I look at it, and I look at my kids, and like my oldest is about to turn 18. So they're just kind of like starting to get out there into the world. And it's like, what are you going to make? Because this shit didn't exist at all when we were like none of this stuff. And now you can, like, anybody can pick up pretty much any instrument anywhere and start recording it and like practice. And
true.
You can just go on YouTube and learn. Like you don't even need, obviously you get a good coach, it's going to be better, but
it is better. Yeah. But you can learn anything.
If you're in the fucking middle of Alaska and there's not someone who can teach you how to play clarinet, like there is someone on YouTube who will.
Right. That's a good point.
Don't play clarinet, guys. Like, why?
Yeah.
Stop playing these symphony orchestra things unless you're going to do it. Symphony orchestra.
I mean, I have a saxophone. I know how to play trumpet. I would like actually to have a trumpet again. And
okay, but
I don't really
trumpet play in a,
they're a little different
quartet, like really well. Like you can those things are, you can put those into a modern,
that's true,
contemporary setting. It's a lot
clarinet.
fucking oboe right? Like,
An
I
oboe.
love oboes. They're so cool, but like
It's true.
doesn't fit as well, right? You can't haul that thing around and put it under a bridge with a
Yeah,
hat.
that's true. Yeah, I love music though. In fact, there was a time in my life where I was basically a starving artist. Like I was living in New York and I was always struggling to like just make rent. And those months were especially difficult to eat because New York was, it's an expensive place to live. So I would go out with my guitar and get in the subway for a few hours in one location, probably make like $50 sometimes, $60, and go get food. Like it basically helped me survive when I was living in New York, my music. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
good.
and it's crazy now because you can take that person and that person can record something now, and they can go on
True.
with their government phone. Hell, they can go on
Yeah.
YouTube or Instagram or whatever, and that person can turn that $50 into 50,000. Like it's possible.
God, that sounds good, right, chat? Maybe I should record my music. And before my chat starts yelling at me about, they've been grilling me for years now to record my music, but I'm in process of doing it right now, chat. I just wrote a new song called Soul Frontier. I'm getting into this like what do you call like Western style music? It's not rock, it's not folk, it's like, like you imagine like the tumbleweeds going by and there's like a whistling guy. Is there a word for like Western style music? Anyway, I wrote a song like it.
I think it falls under folk. I think it does.
Is it like Western folk?
Yeah, that's
yeah.
what I suggest. Because it's not country. Country's different.
Right. I know, Diwa. Yep, a lot of you have been outlaw country. Is that it? Collie would know. He's into music. Outlaw country. Okay, so maybe it is a type of country music.
Could
it's
be.
Called Western. That makes the most sense to me. Country Western, maybe. Okay.
Country's just changed so much. Even like over the course of my lifetime, I think back to hanging out with my grandpa and he's listening to he's listening to country, and then I look at it now and I'm like, he would not recognize this as country music. It's pop music.
Right.
It's actually like,
that's a good point.
Incorporating a lot of hip hop elements into it as well. Like that's what's selling. And it's like, okay, like I don't have a problem with this or whatever. I'm not demanding a call to return. It's just I don't know what to call some of these older genres. Like
right.
where did rock go? Like where did hard rock go, or heavy metal, so to speak?
I know. And there's a couple of bands. There's bands that I like. What's a newer band that Dury? They've got some like rocky sounding songs, like some rock. I mean, they kind of rock out. I like their vibe. These smaller bands, the problem is what's being pushed by the people who control the music, right? The labels and all that. So they want the pop. They want the 5, 6, 4 or whatever, that pop combo that hundreds of songs have been written. And that's what they don't even care about lyrics anymore. It's all about it. Are you humming it? Is it getting in your head?
Yeah.
Do you want to listen to it over again and over again? That's what they want. They want virality instead of like a quality standalone song that stands out on its own. And I hate it. I've hated mainstream music for 20 years.
Well, and is it clippable is like a real thing too, because you have Instagram reels that are 35 seconds long or whatever. And
right.
having an absolute banger of a bridge can sell an entire song because it's virality there. And
that's a good point.
But the weird thing is that how it's coming about, though, it's not coming about from the studios. Like it is organic, and it is it's democratized because anybody can get the equipment now to make good music, to make good recordings. And you have to take a little time. You have to prep a room to get rid of some angles and mute out some echoes. But once you do, like, holy shit, you have a studio in a $600 laptop. You don't even have to have a good one. It's amazing what you can do now. And so like, as that happens, you see people taking a lot more risks. I think. And I'm gay, so I like Machine Gun Kelly, for example. But like his newest album is not
The pop
really
style.
fun.
I just saw that stupid music video where he's like dancing in front of some car wash, and
Yeah,
it's
I
just
know.
like the
So that
cheesiest shit I've ever heard.
yeah, but the song's called Cliche. The whole thing's a meta joke. It's really funny when you look at it with the proper thing.
Interesting. Okay. So he's doing it ironically, like he's trying to make it
That I mean
okay.
that song is called Cliche, and everything that happens in the video is cliche. He does like boy band dances and stuff like that.
Right.
There's a
Wow.
there's a female interest that ends up dancing with him in the rain, but they do these really goofy gay dance at the end. Like, and then it's also like it gets less gay, a little hot, but whatever. But like the whole point of it is like this is what mainstream pop music is, right?
Right.
And then if you go to the next the other songs on that album, which that album's really good from a writing standpoint, like if you really listen to it, it's all about, and maybe I'm biased and kind of in tune with it, but it's about recovery. He wrote it in rehab when he had to go again. And it's about loss because he lost Megan Fox. And like it's a whole different style, but you know, he's not.
I would count that as a dub. Isn't she psycho?
I don't know. I think he
She-
is too. So it's like when you but
Okay.
like but no, it's like the point of this is not to sell that album. Like I think it's good, but I know a lot of people won't, and that's fine. Like I don't care. My point is this is
Yeah.
a mainstream artist, and he's got the ability to take like a riskier approach, and he's not afraid to do it because you don't really need the studios anymore. Like you really, when guys are coming up now, you don't have to get a record contract because you can go on YouTube and you can get
Yeah, Tom McDonald is proof of that.
yeah. And
Look at that guy. 6 million subscribers now.
a fucking marshmallow weirdo who like doesn't do anything, but he just plays bass or whatever. Like that guy, you know, gets really popular because these guys go viral. And once you've achieved the ability to engage virality, it doesn't really matter if you have a studio behind you. And that's becoming more and more open. I think as that happens, where you see things like a return to pop, or sorry, a return to folk music coming, like the stuff my dad listened to that I grew up with that I really like Jackson Brown and you know, like shit like that. I like the sound of that. I want to hear more people in my voice, not my dad's voice, singing it. I want to see what that's like, but they wouldn't do it before because that shit doesn't sell albums. You're not selling albums anymore. You're selling songs.
Right. You're selling songs.
I think it's cool.
And personalities too. I mean, parasocial relationships now is like, it's like this weird thing. Like Taylor Swift, you know, she'll release the same song multiple times. Wait, Flood. Hold on, Ashley. Flood liked the new MGK album.
Dude, it's
Okay.
really good. And
Right.
of course, with Flood's history, like I think he's going to resonate with a lot of the songs.
That also makes sense. That's true. Yeah.
But
I trust him with music. I've listened to his breakdowns of music enough, and I'm a musician, and him and I vibe very well musically. So yeah, I get it. Yeah. Cool.
So give it a listen, man. I'll send you like my
maybe I will.
I'll send you my
Okay.
favorite tracks so you know like what to focus in on, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
But I love that is hitting every single industry. And I think like we're starting to see the major power players in those industries really be fucking afraid. Because who needs Island Records, right? You just go online and then
do it yourself.
Start rapping. And especially if you get a shout out from anybody else. And one thing I started to notice a couple years ago is when I started listening to newer music again, and I started listening to a lot of punk pop type stuff because that's when I stopped listening to music. So I guess it's where I picked up. All these guys are collaborating with each other like constantly. Like it's just endless collabs. And you see them like these guys are making songs. Sometimes they'll make albums, but they're making songs and they're looking for just ways to draw people in, and they're finding it. And you don't need to have some guy pressing out CDs. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah. I'm learning. I need to do music more. I like my channel, love my channel, love my audience the most, and I realizing I don't really care that much about politics. I know that I want to be a part of the conversation, so I'm gonna always pay attention to it, but I really am trying to get back to the things that I really enjoy, which is music. I love music. I'm just forcing myself to do music more often. Well, actually, I got to think being a dad and like having my son just I start playing music and he drops whatever he's doing and he comes over and like sits and listens to me and like dances and loves my music. So I'm like, all right, well, I have the best audience and he's learning how to play music from me. So like I have the best reason to play, but then it's getting me to play more often. And man, I just love it so much. So I'm like, you know what? Well, a lot of conversations with Flawed as well. And of course my chat has been grilling me forever, but yeah, I got to do it, man. I got to do it.
You should, because there's I've just been thinking, like I've had time to think over the past 18 months. But we're supposed to make shit. Like we're supposed to make shit. That's what we were made for. You can take it from a Christian perspective and say we're all created in God's image or whatever. But what did God do first? He made creation, right? Like creation doesn't exist. And so what God had to do is make creation. He made it so fucking hard he had to make a copy of himself. Like that's wild to really think about. Like before he
can't see anything.
Before he could say "Let there be light," like "Let there be" had to be invented, and "Let there be" is Jesus, right? He's the Word. He's the Word, and through him all things are made, according to John 1. And so you go back and you go, okay, so God's main thing was creating everything. He had to even creating. What the fuck are we doing if we're not making something? I don't care what.
And because we're made in his image, right? So we should be creating. Like
that's the model. And I find that when I'm making something, it doesn't matter if it's a project with my kids or something I make with my hands around the house, or if it's content on YouTube. I'm good when I'm making stuff. When I'm not making stuff, I'm not good. I go into a bad mental place really quick. And so it's like we should be making shit. And that's what I've been resolving to do lately, is like make shit. I don't care what you're doing, make shit and tell everybody.
What are you making?
Well, lately, a lot of clips, a lot of fucking clips on YouTube.
Clips. All right. That counts.
But no, and like I want to get back into doing my show, but I have my kids are always making stuff, and so I'm always trying to help out with that if I'm not doing something on my own too.
Yeah.
But I have some things that I'd like to learn to help me make and create, and I want to learn how to work on cars, something I never did when I was younger. I wanted to, or I didn't want to at the time. Sorry. I want to now. And it's like, okay, well then fucking do it. Get out there and actually make stuff. If that's make your car go faster, whatever. But yeah, that's I get a lot of questions from people about like, what am I supposed to do? It's like, I don't know, but make something. Go make something. And then you have something afterwards. It's cool.
And stop scrolling. I think a lot of people that are in that position are usually online looking at what other people are creating, feeling depressed about how daunting it feels to create, or like the amount of things that they have to do to get to the point of creating. And it's like, you're never gonna create something if you're just gonna sit there looking at consuming, or we're in a consuming society. Well, I do feel like it's shifting. There is a shift away from consumption, which is wonderful. You know, of course, as I'm now trying to create more things to give to people to consume, but
again,
I think it's a net positive.
Consumption's a problem when what you're consuming supports corporatism, and that corporatism influences and controls the lives of the populace, right? Like that's when it becomes an issue. Consuming because you need a chair and your neighbor makes a chair is not a problem. That's not a bad thing. Like consuming is good when it's that, because that person's labor has now been converted into a need system, which is money that they can use to do something that they can't, like to get something that they can't do, or is not worth it for them to do. That's fine. We had this magical time in which all of messaging and marketing was controlled by a handful of companies, and the overwhelming majority of major manufacturing was controlled by a handful of companies, and all of the messaging and everything, and even down to the news stations, were controlled by the same companies. This group of people, and they had a stranglehold on what American culture would be, and they defined it. And the way to laugh at a laughing way to look at this is to look at these look at people from Hollywood or radio or whatever who had a big show or big presence, and look at their failure to attract those numbers, to attract any audience at all once they get away from that machine. That machine is what made American interest, not American interest. It wasn't organic in any sort of real way. It was astroturfed entirely. And so, yeah, consumerism and consumption was bad when it reinforced this group of people who would then control how our lives would go, control who goes into our government, all of that stuff. That's going away. That's going away fucking fast, because Candace Owens can draw more numbers than Fox News, right?
Oh, they hate that. They hate her so much.
Tucker Carlson didn't need Fox News either, right? These people, love them or hate them, agree or disagree, they're able to attract and entertain people in a way that these corporate entities had to pay millions of dollars in marketing for. And they just did it. They just walked out like, nope. And if it's democratized, the chaff will be weeded out automatically. Like it just happens that way, because people will fail and they'll get bored and they'll go do something else. But the people who are worthy of the attention can get it now on their own. And there's some gates that are kept, but we're working on it. And to me, I can't wait. I think we're in for a whole treat of living in a society where we are self-determinative of our entertainment and our information.
Yeah.
And I think it's good, only good.
Yeah. The internet was such a blessing and a curse for so long. And it does feel like, when you look at Gen Z, I think especially is a sign, the canary of the signs to change. And you could see them starting to not care about offending others anymore, which in itself is huge. Because if you don't care, if the society doesn't care about offending others, then like so many people lose their power. Because like right now you could see there's like this like weird tendril stranglehold in Hollywood and comics and gaming and all this stuff, because all these people are like, they don't want to risk offending their coworker, the one coworker who's going to bitch and complain that there is too many white people in a game, not enough black people. And then like look at Outer Worlds 2, all of the companions that you can get. It's like a butch lesbian girl, another butch lesbian girl of a different skin color, a couple black guys, and then like a Hispanic girl, and it's just like,
and then the butch lesbian girls are the only white people in the whole game.
Yeah, and then you see the butch lesbian girl smack one of the dudes and be like, "Get a hold of yourself," It's like you're this or that. It's like, oh my gosh.
I'm the boss around here. Hey, speaking of that, I gotta run to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. Okay.
Go on. That's fine. I'll read some of these chats. I'll save the ones for you, for when he returns. He still has that freaking. Oh, that's so classic. D What became a member. D What, thank you, man. I appreciate you very much. Alan Tanasi just dropped a 50 bomb earlier. Thank you very much. I have not really been looking at chat. I've glanced in a little bit. I saw someone ask if I can cook, which is dope. I know that Four-Eye Crigler is coming. That's great. Summer saying, okay, I'm going to save all the ones for Nick, because I know there's a bunch of people. I feel like oh, wait, let me address this Rumble situation. So, Diana, you said that Rumble, I have Rumble chat up, and I only see 4 Rumble chats. But there were 60 people, and now there's 45. There's just a lot more than usual, and I feel like both you wearing sunglasses was a vibe. Yeah. I threw in my sunglasses for... just because, the chat's not working in Rumble. So if you rumble ranted me tonight, I apologize. I can't see anything. I don't know where I can go into Rumble and like see. Actually, I'm pretty sure I can do this. Let me try to do this real quick. I think I can go into my account to like, you know, wherever people payments, transactions. No, there's got to be like there's got to be a spot that shows like Rumble rants. I know that it exists in YouTube, but I've never actually looked. I've never needed to do this. Yeah, Rumble's a mess tonight. All right, I don't know where to look. I'm sorry. But thanks for hanging out tonight, guys. I really appreciate it. We had like 250, 260 people. Yeah, over 200 people tonight. Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that. Thanks for coming in. If you aren't normally here, I have changed my whole format on my channel. Monday nights is Based Af Monday. I go live with my homies. Tuesday nights, I don't go live. Wednesday nights, I'm going to be doing interviews. I have interviews set up for the next month, and I'm going to continue booking guests for Wednesday nights. I really like that. And then Thursday nights, I'm also off. And then Friday nights, I'm going to be jamming. All of my live streams are just going to be going to members only as soon as the live stream ends, and I will be making videos. I've already made 2 videos over the past couple days that you can check out. One's about, it turns out nostalgia is fascist. Did you hear about this? That
no,
nostalgia is fascism. Yeah. Well, they're coming up with fancy ways to be mad at Make America Great Again. That's really what it is in my mind. You know, they're like, well, what era is so great? And it's like, well, I think when citizens had full sovereignty, the dollar was backed by gold, you know, the Federal Reserve wasn't a thing, income tax wasn't a thing. Like, there's certain things that they're talking about. They don't want to go back to Jim Crow. They don't want to go back to freaking slavery. That's not what they're talking about. But like, they really want to like be victims. So
yeah,
you know,
there's that. But people misunderstand this expression. Making America Great Again has nothing to do with going back to any particular era or any particular policy or any particular thing.
Right.
America was great. America is not great. That's contextualized in whatever time that you want it to be. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't mean that we're going back to the policies of yesteryear, right? Like,
right.
It just means that we're going to bring back American greatness and exceptionalism, and we can contextualize it here in this day in the way that, the way that we want it to be. That's good. That can, like, you can even take that and say, we're going to make America great again by recognizing racial inequality and focusing on diversity, equity, and inclusion. Like, you can do that. You can say that American exceptionalism rests in its diversity and its robust and rich history and the melding of culture. Like, you can say that. A lot of people are going to disagree. That's fine. But that's still making America great, because America was great. And then America started to lose its luster, started to get a little bit of tarnish on the chrome. Right. And now we're polishing that bad boy up. And that's the point. That's what, of course, is being taken and run with in the opposite direction. But there was a time when where Proud to Be an American was fucking made and played on the radio relentlessly.
That's true.
You can't make that song anymore because people aren't proud to be American. They have no tie to it.
I am.
That was nice. That was a good point. But they have no tie to American culture. They have no tie to, the things that people come here begging for. They're begging for opportunity. They're begging for a shitty job because it's better than the shitty job opportunity that they have where they live.
Yeah.
We need to recognize that greatness. And
facts.
We need to be proud to give it to our citizens, and we need to stop.
Exactly. First.
Right. First and maybe only for a while. Like, let's have a reset. And I'm a dirty, filthy globalist. Like, I don't care about any of that stuff. I don't get down on protectionist policies, generally speaking. But there's a time for a reset on these things. There's a time to
Oh, yeah.
back and go, we got our priorities fucked up here. We need to secure these borders first, and then we can decide who comes in. Like, but let's keep out the people we want to keep out. And then,
Right.
sorry, like, I know that you're a starving mother from Ecuador, or whatever, like every other starving mother from Ecuador that's showing up here, all with the same fucking story, some of them with the same kid. That being said, like,
Yeah.
I got it, and that sucks. But we're busy.
Yeah, we got starving people here. Like,
Look,
we're gonna choose our citizens first.
I knock on the door when I was a kid going trick-or-treating. I knocked on the door, and there were a bunch of doors that had the lights off, and they didn't open. Do I like go to the police and like, I need you to axe that door down because there's a fucking Hershey bar behind that door? I know it. I can smell it. No, you go to the next one. You go to the next one. If nobody was out giving out candy on Halloween, if nobody answered the door, you know what you get? You get to go home and you don't have any candy, because Halloween's about giving things away. That's what our foreign policy or our immigration policy has been. We're just giving shit away. We're giving it away like crazy. Close the fucking door and turn off the foyer lights and say, we're not home. We're busy fucking. We're watching Halloween 3. Leave us alone. These are the witch, bitch. Anyway.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I agree. I'm proud to be American. I love America. A lot of people gave me shit when they found out that I moved to Sweden, and it's like, I didn't renounce my citizenship. I'm still proud to be American. I'm never going to convert to a Swede. I'm so drastically different than everyone here. Like, they're so, how would I define it? I would say they're very humble, and they don't want to like stand out. That's like in the culture to not stand out. And I'm like, that is the anti-American sentiment. Like, I'll stand out. I don't care, you know. And my son's is American because he's my son,
right?
And so he's got a dual citizenship, which is kind of cool, actually. But yeah, I might come back to the States. There's a potential for something that's brewing out there that I'm very excited about, and I'm not talking about it, but I'm praying. I literally prayed for it the other day, and I hadn't prayed in many years.
It's a skate park with an ice cream shop.
That would actually be a lot of fun, but probably wouldn't pay very well.
No,
but
it never does. No, and that's so, in a weird way, I feel you on the sort of Scandinavian Nordic vibe, like that reservedness, right? Because I live in a heavily Norwegian.
There's a lot of Swedes in Minnesota.
Yep, a lot of Norwegians, a lot of Swedes, a lot of Germans.
Yep.
And that sort of that lack of willingness to stand out. It's funny because
I'm sure
that's lately I've been much more willing to be just eccentric. The nice thing about having your life stripped before the public and everything that you do or say exposed and monitored and reported on is there is a little bit of liberation and freedom in it, and you don't have to hold back things anymore. Like, and that's fine. Like, I didn't want it to come about this way, but I am glad that I get to talk a little bit more freely about some things, because, you know, like I hate that sort of lifestyle. Like, I hate how quiet it is. And one of the things, if you want to get practical, is how the fuck do you stand up? How do you stand up against your government, against another party, against tyrannical cops, against your neighbor? Like, if you're afraid to say anything to anyone about anything important, and these people are afraid of saying anything, and it's like, how do you stand up when you're like that? So,
well, they're starting to. I mean, I know some Swedes that are starting to stand up. There's some Germans that are starting to stand up, and man, the UK is completely fucked right now. But
man, Europe is watching their influence die on the vine, because take everything else away, what the fuck good is Britain? Like, what the fuck good is that little island? Like, what does it do anymore? It used to cover a whole bunch of other shit. And now
Yeah.
it's this little island full of angry people in rain. Like, great. We
Yeah.
already have
Yeah.
battle. Like, we don't need your help.
Yeah.
What the fuck good
That are
is
all getting replaced.
what the fuck good is France? Like, what are these places? They're not resource rich. They're not even really economically rich. Their economics are built entirely on a post-industrial society, which means they don't.
Well, France is built on diamond mines, gold mines in Africa.
Right. Yeah. Somewhere else.
Somewhere else. Yeah.
And here's the crazy thing, like, it's less and less palatable for them to be taking things from somewhere else. I mean,
It's true.
the De Beers has bankrupted an entire swath of people for
True.
decades and decades and decades. You know, a lot of the economic problems of Africa might be solved if they had a thriving diamond industry, but instead the French have it. And what the fuck is France? Like, you got old stuff, you got some cool old stuff. I like to go see it. I want to go.
Sure.
It's been a while. I like some of your food and stuff like that. But what the fuck are you? I can get French food here. We can get French. You can get food anywhere. You can get information anywhere. That stuff's going away.
It's
These
true.
economies are they're looking at a death sentence, in my opinion. Because what the fuck are we gonna do with any of them? Like, sorry,
true.
guys, you aren't
Yeah.
important.
They do have good wine. Yeah, I mean, I lived in France, in Paris in 2004, I think. Yeah, 21 years ago. It is, and then I was there 8 years ago, and man, it is not the same place I remember, man.
Yeah,
It's insane.
I haven't been
Doesn't
there.
doesn't look like Paris anymore.
It's been 25 years since I've been there.
Oh wow, okay. So you had classic French, classic Paris.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had Paris while they were still white people doing the bombings. Because they bombed the metro every fucking time I got on it. I'm like, stop. But no, I went once between, I think, 7th and 8th grade, and then I went between 9th and 10th grade. And
Cool.
yeah, like, it was an amazing experience. I want to go see what it's how I know it's different now. I know that a lot is messed up, but there's also so much history, and I want to take my kids to see. I've been waiting for Notre Dame to get finished up. I think they finished it up last year or something. Or
Yeah, that's a beautiful church.
Right. I'd been waiting for that. I want to take my kids to go see Versailles and Fontainebleau and stuff, like the places that I went. And like, this is there's a significant amount of French in my history. So it's like, this is part of your history. This is part of who you are. You know, like, don't run from it. But I am scared of, like, what the influence of mass unchecked immigration and a terrible you know, policy on asylum and what that means.
Yeah.
And
It's insane what's happening. I mean, in the UK, some kid was brandishing a knife, and the cop was like, "Oh, you know, it's their culture or some shit." I just saw this freaking short about it. It's like, what the fuck, man? Or like in Sweden, I just did a video about this. This girl was raped by an immigrant, and they were gonna deport him, but they were like, "Well, he didn't use his dick. He just used his fingers, so
right, and
it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't long enough, or whatever, or something like that."
Yeah, and it's like,
it was just
okay,
a regular
that's horrible.
It was a regular one, not
she showed up the next day, and he was back at school. Like, she had to see him, and I was like, what this is insane. And
I'm not trying to downplay the immigration issues in Sweden, but this stuff happens in the US too.
Of course.
The difference, of course, is that it's when it's your people versus someone who you go, well, maybe they didn't need to be there, right? Like, that's the immigrant question, right? We have people who commit these assaults, and we have people who murder people and steal stuff, but those are Americans. Damn it. We got enough of that shit. We don't need to bring over here for it. And know that the results of what was going on with that, I've followed mostly in headlines and a little bit of skimming, but it's like, geez.
Well, I learned some crazy statistics about it. So like in America, what is it like the 1350 rule, right? Well, in Sweden, so immigrants are 10% of the population.
Okay.
So 10 they do 85% of the rapes.
You said rape
80
twice.
85%.
No, it's that's insane. It's an unreal statistic.
It's insane.
It's because, like it or not, they're importing a culture of barbarism that has not moved past it. One of the things that always kind of simultaneously frustrates me, but also like when they get it right, like it's always like it's nice to see is when they go back into the Middle Ages or even a fantasy universe, and it's like no one's getting sexually assaulted. It's like no, everybody is. Like you guys don't get it. And when you there are shows where God, I'm trying to think of which one. There's the show I've been watching called The Last Kingdom, which it's like, they don't show it. It's not like explicit, but it's implied. Like this is the Danes coming in to England. Like everybody was getting fucked, literally, and nobody wanted it. That's the whole thing. That's what war and tribalism used to be. Now we don't do that. We've distanced ourselves with guns, but a lot of cultures haven't. They even if they have guns, they still fight literally by machete. It's crazy, and they're out there, and the results is the losers get raped, and it's awful and it's disgusting.
Yep.
But when you import that into your country, where women are free to walk around without a man, because it's a Western civilized country, and that's just fine. Well, not anymore though, because if you see one of those with hair running around, you get to rape them. Like that's culture.
It's insane.
If you don't assimilate the culture or assimilate them into your culture will assimilate into theirs. It'll be like a thermodynamic exchange, right? You'll find equilibrium rather than one superseding the other. But Western culture is superior as a culture to the rape
facts.
culture. Like
these are facts.
Whatever else you want to say, you can say they got.
I don't want the equilibrium. No. I like where we are. I want to stay there.
Exactly.
Period.
It's like they might have good food or some great art or whatever, but the rape one, we can let's just get rid of that. We should be breeding that out of the world. That should be going away. And instead of breeding it back into cultures that have abolished this shit for 500 plus years.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yep. And not only that, the people that are in control of these countries right now are protecting them and releasing them out into the world again after they're already caught. It's suicidal. It's crazy.
Yes. To quote my favorite quote of Ayn Rand that she said all the time, you cannot compromise with poison. You can't compromise with death. And these people have, again, post-industrialism gets us to a place where we get to compromise on damn near everything because there's enough for everybody. When you think about the United States, for example, there's enough food. There's enough food for everybody. Like it may be hard to eat for some people sometimes, but there's enough food. There's enough housing. There's enough places. All this stuff, there's enough. The moment you start introducing these cultures back in, those things start becoming not enough. It's like, well, why aren't they enough? It's like, because you're in a whole different element of human societal evolution. You have regressed. You're introducing a regression. And if you don't stamp that regression out immediately, then your culture will go back. Your life expectancy will drop. Food will become more scarce. Electricity will become a demon that you have to exercise out of your Xbox or whatever. Like the crazy shit that goes on, we get reminded of it. But we've forgotten because we don't have to deal with it. Because no one's in a street eating a baby to have a rain ritual. Like that's not happening here. But it's coming. It's coming if we keep importing poison.
These are facts. Well, I do think there is an end point for this stuff. I do feel like there are more and more people standing up. Again, with Gen Z, I saw a video today in the UK where two migrants were beating up some British looking guy, and like 10 freaking 17-year-olds got off a bus and they were like, oh hell no, and just stomped these freaking immigrants. And it's like, I don't really know what was going on, but it seemed like they were beating the shit out of this British guy, and he wasn't fighting them back. He was just like getting mauled. So
he was honestly probably an asshole. So
he might have been. Might have been. Who cares?
Like that's the thing. It's like, oh well, they said a racist thing, or you said an offensive thing. Fucking good. Who cares?
Did you deserve it? That's my follow-up question.
It's like
maybe
what he didn't deserve was to be beaten by a group of people, because we don't do that. Like when we see that on Instagram, we yell world star and we go, thank Christ I don't live in Chicago, right? Like, but it is a sideshow. It's a freak show in civilized countries to see like these brawls and this shit happening, and these people getting jumped, and the not feeling safe going to the grocery store or convenience store or furniture store, wherever you're going. Like, the fact that you can't feel safe walking in your own town is what is making people afraid. It is what's going to bring back true racism, not like the joke racism. Facts. The real kinds. And it's what brings racial violence.
It's already back.
It is. People are openly racist now because they've been called racist so long. What the fuck is the point of not being one?
Well, and the stereotypes are coming true, are proving to be true, so that you need to watch yourself if you're walking down the road and it's at night and there's a group of black teenagers. You're going to be freaking on edge. Because it's the stereotypes are, I mean, just look at what's going on in America. It's insane.
It's crazy.
Same in Europe.
I lived near one of the worst neighborhoods in Houston, Texas. My neighborhood was great. It was not like a rich one next to a poor one. It was just, it was like lower middle class next to the fucking worst. You know, I grew up around that. And then I had family who lived there. So even when we moved away and we moved to Minnesota, like we would go back. I have walked, you know, the streets of every major city I've gone to. I walk the streets without any fear of anything. I just happily go along. I've stepped over and countless homeless people in Atlanta, etc. And I've never felt worried about it. And now is when I have to start feeling worried about it, which is crazy. It's like for 40 years, I've never fucking worried about where I am, or the fact that just where I am might get me in trouble outside. You know where you're going to get, like, obviously there's some neighborhoods and stuff, you know, you're going to get in trouble if you're there and you're not the right person. Right.
Sure.
But I'm talking about where normal people are, where business people are, where people are going to get groceries, those places. Like, I don't know, man.
Civilized people.
I used to walk through when I would go to Chicago. I would walk around, no problem. Now, get in a car, take an Uber. Like I don't walk around here.
Well, Chicago. I'm from Chicago, so I know a lot about why the crime is so bad. I mean, the rich people of Chicago like wanted more tourism, so they got rid of like all the low income housing on the north side, and just pushed everyone who was basically on government subsidies and like government programs to the south side of Chicago. And it just created basically like this giant gang war that has never ended. And it's just been going on forever.
Yeah.
20, 30 years now.
And it's crazy because they have no interest in fixing it, because to fix it would be racist.
Correct.
And it sucks. It sucks that a particular racial group has been put into this economic reality that perpetuates a life of criminal activity. Like and people who come from those areas or visit those areas or work with people in those areas see very quickly that this isn't a race thing, but it will always be portrayed as a race thing. What it is an opportunity and really an imprisoned reality. These people are not economically mobile. They can't leave. The good people can't leave the bad areas. They're stuck there. And when you're 3 generations deep now, in 4 generations deep of kids who've been drug dealers and who have shot at someone or shot someone or stabbed someone because they were under 18, so they wouldn't go to prison for life. Like because they were under 18, they were enforcers for some of these gangs and they had to live in this reality. But that's generations now. It's the same shit Senator Kennedy was talking about the other day with their poverty in Louisiana. He's like, is it deep poverty? Is it deep poverty? Are you generationally poor? Because that's what that's what Louisiana and Mississippi are. Generationally poor people. That's what we're building. We're just building it in urban environments. There's no economic mobility because there's no opportunity because all their kids are fucking going to prison or getting killed. It's crazy to think about living in that situation.
It's true. And then you also have like this corporatism that's picking up every single available house, overbidding everyone with cash, like BlackRock, Vanguard, soaking up every single thing that they can. So even if someone is almost getting ahead, that they could maybe purchase like the cheapest house on the block or the cheapest house in the slightly nicer neighborhood, the one you were living in that was next to that shitty one, that one's going to get picked up by someone who doesn't even need the house, just wants to buy it because they can, and then they'll sit on it for a couple years to sell it because they can. You have like this weird dynamic. Well, it's like the internet, right? The human mind is not designed to live on a grand scale of the entire human race. And that's what the internet is. We have access to literally everyone. And who has access to the internet, which is easily, 75% of the world, right? And it's almost the same thing with like, it's now getting down to like the local level of like anyone from anywhere can go buy up. Like, look how much land China owns in America. Like there's Germans that are buying, seaside properties in Florida because they want like a summer spot in Florida, whatever. So like anyone can buy all this stuff. So like even that house that small family might have been able to afford is probably being picked up by thousands of different other people that can afford it and don't even need it. So, I mean, I'm not even, it's hard to be against that because I'm pro capitalism, but also, I don't know. It's a weird situation.
So here's the thing. So when I was working on community service, this is fun because I got to peek behind the government curtain a little bit. Community service, we maintained, a lot of the properties that are boat launches and public parks, right? The obvious stuff. But there's a bunch of stuff that was taken over by the county due to a failed sheriff sale. So foreclose on the property, sheriff sale happens, no one buys it because the property is absolute trash. Well, you still got to maintain the lawn and shit for the neighbors, the county.
Right.
So the county, as a community service, people come in and they maintain the lawns of all these houses that are completely like they're abandoned, they're gone. If you know the right person, you can buy up these properties at a steal, and yet you get a couple of different things. Like you get no one's buying them, or two, the banks are taking advantage of because the banks actually end up owning them. The county doesn't own them. The sheriff repossesses them on behalf of whoever is
made the loan or whatever.
Right, and so then they get this really low cost maintenance going on. It doesn't take much to keep this property there, and they'll hold it and hold it and hold it. And it's exactly what you're saying. And all the time we're saying, oh, there's not enough housing available. We need to get more low income housing or whatever. And it's like, it's all right fucking there. But you have these companies that won't do it. But how do you get to that person? How do you make capitalism work? The problem is that capitalism isn't allowed because these corporate entities, and I'm a big business opponent. I love big business, but you have these corporate entities that are playing the system. They're not playing capitalism. They're not competing. The
corporatism takes over.
Right. They're making relationships and locking out. They're relationships that you and I can't make because they have to be leveraged in through a massive amount of money first. But once they've got them, one bank picks up all the properties in town and that bank has them. Then the housing, the prices on all the other houses that they own go up, or that someone might borrow money from them to buy goes up.
Right.
Everything goes up. And it's like, this isn't capitalism. There's no competition. This is how you lock people out and then take advantage of what's left over. And that's the scary shit. Because I'm super pro business, but business has been a fucking mess for a while.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is that not a monopoly on housing? You know, like what? It just feels like
as long as there's another house, like it's not a monopoly, right? Like because anybody can sell a house and the bank doesn't own it. But the problem is just it's access. They have the ability to buy into access on all this stuff, but they do this in every industry. It's everywhere, and we've seen it with social media over the past decade, really, as they tried to lock each other out, as they tried to secure news sites, as they try to do this. And you go, how much fucking money is all this? And now we look at the No Kings protest, which is a different context because this isn't business, or is it? Right? Like, or is it business? Like the astroturfing of No Kings creates a perception of unrest, whether there is one or not. And that perception of unrest, or whether there is unrest or not, that perception is what molds what's happening in the national economy. It molds what happens to local housing prices. It has an impact on inflation directly. And it's like, wait, so if you pay a bunch of middle-aged white people to stand around all day with a sign that says No Kings, suddenly the price of lettuce goes up 10%. Like, that matters. And if we think they don't have actuaries picking out where these impacts will be felt and seen, and we don't see them short buying all this shit, like, we're crazy.
How do we get to that person? Like you asked, like how do we even start the ball rolling to solve that? I mean, it is just.
It starts.
We got to make America great again. That's it. There it is.
And
that's what it's about.
It's stupid, but it starts here. Like, look at the conversation that we're having. You couldn't have this conversation in 1976. You can't find it where you could only have it in a bar. You couldn't get it on TV. They would never put that conversation on TV. They wouldn't put smarter people than us talking about the same thing on TV either, because they just didn't really want people thinking about that. They want you to go home to your Betty Crocker oven or whatever and just live your life and do your work. Well, now you're like, I was thinking about what my kids are going to do. Like, what is their career? They want to be content creators. And I told them, you're going to fail. Like, you can try, but you're going to fail. So figure something else out. But wondering what they're going to do. And I'm sitting there going, content creation is going to be like, it's going to be there's going to be a big boom in it because no one has
authentic things, whatever it is, because AI and robotics they're going to take over everything, man. Like, what are humans going to do in 20 years? Everything's going to be automated. Everything is going to be automated.
Right. And like with content creation and stuff, no one has to pay. No one's paying us to do this. We rely on the chat. I mean, sure, there's ads. That's something as well. But like our ads are performance based, and we have no negotiating the contract. It's like someone's like, "Yeah, you did something. We pay you for it, I guess." Like that happens post facto, and you never know how it's going to go. But there's power in that, because there isn't someone who says, yeah, you need to do this a different way. You say, I got to do this a different way because I'm not selling ads. Like, my content isn't getting views. I have to change something. But that's me. That's you. That's not some boss saying it. And we're going to see just a dramatic shift in all this shit over the next couple decades. And again, some of those things where I'm like, I'm excited to watch for it. I'm terrified of it too. At the same time, what the fuck are we going to be doing in 20 years? Oh my God.
I don't know. But it's either going to be awesome or it's going to be 1984 or it's like.
Yeah, it really is. There's this guy I used to argue with when I was in college. He was a communist. And he basically said, look, man, the way automation is going, because AI wasn't a buzzword yet. He's like, the way automation is going, eventually, there's not going to be anything for people to do. Like, what job is there going
outside of the arts?
Right. There, you got arts and maintenance. of the maintenance of the machines, but like
Right.
the
Right.
machines will start maintaining themselves, and then we're in Terminator or whatever, which is cool. But
Yeah, I guess. Space exploration,
right,
you
but
know.
like the amount of things that there will be to like make and fix and do in that way is gonna we're gonna be post industrial. Like it's gonna be wild how little we have to do because everything's gonna be automated. So what do
Yeah.
you do? What do you do when all the truck drivers don't work because all the trucks drive themselves? And like that's coming. I don't know what the answer is. I mean,
Right.
there is an answer, but the crazy thing is we won't see it. It'll happen in real time. It'll happen organically because that's how lately everything is happening organically. We can't ham fist things through anymore. Everything, everybody has access to everything at all times, and they're watching everything at all times. So that's the cool part, is that it'll pop out of nowhere. It'll be some jackass with an idea at some big company, and he'll be the next billionaire, et cetera, the next Elon Musk. Well, those will just cycle through this type of thing, and that'll be creation. But still, like, what are you going to do with the the rest of the truckers? What are you going to do?
Right.
And I have no idea. It'll be. I don't know. Like I said, I'm looking forward to it. What a fucking mess.
Yeah, and I mean, then there's, I don't know if you heard about this. I was reading about a laser that they designed that emitted physical matter, like shot physical matter out of a laser beam. So it's like the application eventually is a replicator, right? If they're going to be able to 3D print something, if they can put it through a laser beam and actually emit like a physical matter, imagine when things are actually able to be 3D printed or replicated, like in Star Trek. I know that was sci-fi, but so was a cell phone, on Star Trek, and now it's almost everything. Everyone's got a smartphone nowadays. So like, man, once you can buy a box that has all the food that you could ever want.
Yep.
That you hit a button, or you just say, it's like Fifth Element, chicken, and it puts a bowl of chicken in there, what. It's crazy.
Well, we've been waiting for it since the Jetsons, right? The little pill. Yeah, Rosie, you burnt the toast.
Oh yeah.
That something like that is coming, like you said. And
Oh yeah.
a replicator is, which used to be complete science fiction, is now like, well, if we can emit matter, and we can lay matter out, and we can manipulate literally at the molecular level how this lays down, then you can stack up a fucking ham sandwich. Like,
yep.
You need some carbon, some nitrogen, a couple other things. But like, if you have those core elements, and you have the ability to create these chemical reactions and make molecules and then lay them down, I mean, you can make anything. You can make it. All you need is a blueprint at the atomic level, and
yep,
we'll have it.
Yeah, it's coming, dude.
We can already fucking do a lot of this shit in weird ways, like the things that we can do with magnets and controlling things
publicly also.
Right? Yeah. Who knows what we can do privately?
Mm-hmm.
It's nuts.
Right. Locked behind some vault in some government building somewhere.
It's all in the Hardee's bathroom. It's just no one wants to go in there. It smells.
Wow, Hardee's. I don't think I've ever actually been in a Hardee's before.
I think they're the same as Carl's Jr. The same company owns them, same marketing. It's just for whatever reason, like Carl's Jr. exists in some part of the country and Hardee's is in the rest.
I don't think I've been into a Carl's Jr. ever in my life either.
Don't.
Yeah. Don't. Okay.
Don't do it.
All right. Okay. There's a fast food place over here that's freaking banging. It's called Max. MAX, like Max Burger.
Sure.
Dude, it blows McDonald's out of the water. It is so good. But
dude,
you know what? I gotta say,
McDonald's blows McDonald's out of the water. That's not a big achievement.
McDonald's here is actually fire.
Oh,
the fries are always good, and the burgers are delicious.
Do they still do the beef tallow fries?
I don't know. I gotta look that up because I know that's that whole big push now with Kennedy.
Well, you know, like the guy, like the reason we stopped using beef tallow to fry food was from one guy who misread a study and then spent his own money creating the ad campaign that fucking got rid of trans fats. One
Are you
guy.
serious?
There's one doctor.
What a jackass.
He misread the study. He was not a cardiologist, and basically came to the conclusion that where the study suggested that, you know, like there is a potential increase in cardiac related deaths from trans fats, right?
So stupid.
And saturated fats. And so they switched to all these seed oils. But the problem was they never followed up, realizing that the seed oils are just as bad, if not even worse, and produce
worse
results. And so now they're finally uncovering it. But it was one fucking dude. It was one guy. And the study was not conclusive. It's not like he's like, oh, the abstract says this, we're good. It's like he read it and misread the parts that he then went to advertise. He made KFC into garbage. KFC used to be good. It's trash now.
That's true. Yeah. What year was that? When did that happen?
92.
1982?
92.
92. Okay. So I was 8. I remember having KFC as a kid and liking it.
Yeah.
I don't like KFC.
KFC as a kid was good. Now it's like soggy and weird. The original is like soggy and weird. And then McDonald's used to, it was like 85% beef tallow, I think, and then other things. And you know, basically everybody who's tried them agrees, and they all remember. If you're old enough, you remember like, whoa, these fries were good, and now they're kind of like soggy garbage. They're kind of weird.
Make America great again.
Yes, it starts with beef fat. Put it on everything. Put it on women, not in their mouths.
Yeah, I found out I was having a son, and I immediately went out and got some smoked sausage, like dry sauce, like salami.
Yep.
And I got it from this like small butcher spot on an island that like you gotta like travel to. So you walk into this place and it just smells amazing, dude. Like it was amazing. And I actually made a video of it, and I've been eating meat ever since. It's just like, and my son eat meat. I didn't want him to grow up without eating meat, you know.
You used to be vegetarian, right?
Full vegan, man, for a long time. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Now I don't.
Fun for you to become a man.
Yeah. That's true. That's a good joke. I've heard it before, but
damn it.
It was the worst when my dad said that to me. I was like, all right, Dad.
Like, you made me. It's your fault.
Yeah. I wish you were able to make it to the meetup, man. I had Quarter Black Garrett, my buddy Darth Call, Flawed, and Mo. They were all staying at my house, and my dad made ribs for us all.
Oh.
And like fucking amazing, my dad's ribs. So we're gonna try to do it next year. So next year you gotta come out.
Yeah, let me know. It's one of those things that I'm planning to make specifically. So give me a heads up, and I'll make it.
I will
as best I can.
Oh yeah, it's gonna happen. Yeah, my mom wants me to do it in Arizona, but it's so far, Arizona, where there's so many people can make it to Chicago. It's just like such a center point, you know?
Yeah, Chicago or Vegas are great places to do things. Like, it's just so easy to get to Vegas.
Yeah, the airports there, everyone flies to those spots.
Yep.
And my mom's in Tucson, so it's not even, the Tucson airport's not even a good hub either. Got to go through Phoenix, and that's, I don't know.
I've never flown in Arizona. Like, I've driven through it, parts of it, but I've never had to fly down there.
You've never seen Call's face? It's funny. I had never seen his face either until I picked him up at the airport, and he was like, "All right, I'm wearing red shorts and a red shirt." So I pull up and I see him. I'm looking at this guy with wearing all red, and he's looking at me, and he is like, you know, he's giving me these points, and I'm like, but is it him? I don't know. And then he spoke, and I'm like, you know, because I've gamed with him for years, so like I've heard his voice so many times, And also, I want to say, chat, there's someone who was like, these guys aren't even really friends. They're just acquaintances. I was like, you know what? Fuck you. I consider this guy a friend. All right. So I don't, he maybe might just think of me as an acquaintance. That's fine. I don't care.
I think you're a friend.
I appreciate
I
that.
We're talking about the other guy. I was like, that guy's rude.
Yeah. Well, there was a lot of people bitching in the chat earlier, which I don't know if they're still here or not, but it doesn't matter. So only my homies got to come and enjoy my dad's ribs, and you would have been invited. So
next time, I will be there. I was almost able to make it this time, but it just a bunch of shit happened right around that time.
Yeah, and
it was like, oh, I can't go anywhere.
Oh, okay. Well, you tell me the story after we end the stream, because I don't want to put you on the spot for it. I'm going to read some of these chats. There's some question. Some people were saying some shit too.
Word.
D-Wet, thanks again for becoming a member. Summer saying for 5 says, have you asked Nick if you could dump in his wife like he let Steel tow? No, I have not. Alan Tanassi for 50. Thank you, buddy. Alan Tanassi is a freaking G. Alan, I don't know if you're still here, but you're a freaking G. The Bronca Show for $20. Thank you for that 20 bomb. The legal outcome achieved by Nick here was masterful. Probably helps that you're a lawyer.
It was interesting because the whole time people told me I was doing the wrong thing. I was making missteps. I was screwing everything up. I was going to walk myself into jail or whatever. And the reality is I walked out with a deal that, you just don't get.
Right.
You don't get that deal. It was a first time offense. So the likelihood of jail was reduced, but they did try to put me in jail for 30 days. Like that happened.
Okay.
But we got around all of that stuff, and again, getting the charges dropped entirely against both of the women, and getting the kid and the gun charges. It was not the most fun process. I had to endure a lot of bullshit and had to argue a lot and hold out a lot. But at the end of the day, it's like, well, do you guys really want to go to trial on this? Because we will if we have to. And thankfully they didn't want to, because we probably would have lost. Would have gotten our asses kicked a little bit. But yeah, always appreciate Andrew's commentary, and it's nice seeing people who know how it goes say, yeah, you did a good job, because a lot of people tried to, for whatever reason, say that wasn't happening. Well,
right.
That's y'all's credibility on the line.
True. Mazinger Z for 5 says, Adam, what's your opinion on a parent that ditches hard drugs with their unattended child to avoid getting caught when pulled over? That's oddly specific, and I don't know who you're talking about.
I do. I know who he's talking about.
Oh, who's he talking about?
He's talking about me, of course. That's not what happened.
Oh, that's one of those rumors that was going around, right?
Misinterpretation of something that occurred when I got pulled over. I wasn't pulled over. I pulled over, and I thought we were getting swatted. So I had a little bit of cocaine in my pocket, and when the cop says I need to search you, like you need to get out of the car, I have to somehow not have cocaine in my pocket, right? So so what I did was I handed it to my daughter, and I said, you take all this right now, and you just suck it right down your nose. But I didn't leave it with her unattended. I forced her to take it. No, I had, like I said, I had a little bit in my pocket, and in this little metal container, and I was able to slide it into my door of my car. And so that when they searched me, I didn't have it on me at all. That's it.
Smart.
My unattended daughter was never unattended at all, because she was with me. And even if she wasn't, she would have been with the police, and no danger of being anywhere near any drugs. So calm the fuck.
Oh, we've got another one from a Mazinger Z for 5. Says, Adam's thoughts on a guy divorcing for a newer model, but choosing the old bag because she's more useful revenge proxy against her bull. I Again, I don't understand this either. Does that actually make sense? Is that even any?
I mean, I guess the idea is that I was definitely going to divorce my wife, and then I didn't because I wanted to utilize my relationship with her as revenge against someone else, which is insane.
Right.
I
That
thought,
one really sounded insane.
yeah, I thought for a while that my wife was going to divorce me. I did think that. Like I said, we've been married a long time, and there throughout the years, I've given her plenty of reasons that she could, but that's kind of how marriage goes. It's like you you go along and things go well, and then there are times when things don't go well, and at some point, someone might decide that that's enough. And I thought that was happening. I had a bunch of reasons to think that. It didn't happen that way though, and
That's
so
good.
yeah, so I ended up staying with my wife, and we fixed things.
W.
But there was another person who I was talking to because I thought I was getting divorced, and that relationship had to end when my wife and I patched things up. So that's how it goes, and people can think whatever they want. Of course, it doesn't really matter because what matters is what happened. My wife and I are good.
Awesome. That's good to hear. Hurricane Von Hurricane for 5 says, you went harder on Phil. You're letting this scumbag skate.
I don't know how
come
to
on.
skate. I'm not good at it.
That's such a stupid statement. First off, I've never seen your name before. I had never met Phil before, and I was calling the whole thing with Phil DSP. It's like
Dark Phil. I thought because of Tim Pool we were talking Phil Labonte.
No. Okay. No. I went harder on Phil. I interviewed DSP on Side Scrollers forever ago, and
sure,
I just called him out on his bullshit because he was literally things he said during the interview. He would then I called him out on it later on because he basically debunked himself, and I just called him on it. So it's like hearing from someone who I consider a friend, or like we are friends, we're homies, you know what I mean? So I was like, I wanted to hear his version of what what do you want from me? This is my homie. He came, and I actually trust him. I didn't know DSP, but I don't trust DSP. Yeah.
No,
What'd you say?
I said, and I came. No, it's like I don't know. Like I don't know what you need to do to go hard on me. I'm not gonna. There's not a question that you can ask that I'm gonna answer any differently than how I answered things.
No, I can tell you what they want me to do. They want me to read these super chats, but call you out. Like, wait a minute. Nick, why are you not feeling guilty still for all these things that you did? Why haven't you gotten a Ninetales to hit your back live 24/7? That's what you should be doing, to tell the internet how sorry you are for the things that you've done. You need to constantly be hurting yourself for these people. That's what we need.
And the reason I'm not doing that is because every time I go into the sex shop with all the scarring on my back, they kick me out, and I'm like, I need more tails. I need more tails to flagellate.
Is there a 10 tails? No.
And I need it made of metal, not that fake plastic stuff. I want it to hurt for real.
Yeah.
It is what it is. People are going to be mad or upset or think I'm a scumbag for a long time, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I earned it. It just is. There's nothing I can do about that now other than just keep going or quit. Yeah. I could quit too. I don't really want to do that. So yeah, people can be.
I was just gonna say, this kind of reminds me of when you started up your night streams again after the whole Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial. Because you were obviously you were going into that. You had this spike from doing kind gosh, I can't forget Rittenhouse, right? You like, because I had more subs than you once, and then like suddenly Rittenhouse, and then there's the Johnny Depp trial, and then that ended, and you started doing the night streams. You started, unbreaded up again, and like there were all these people. I remember being in your chat, and like all these people were so upset. They were like, "What is this trash? Like, how are you? Like, you're such a debaucherous. Like, you're such an asshole." And I'm like, do you not know who he is? Like, I'm feeling like this is like a grander version of it, right? Because you said you were exposed raw to the internet. Like, there's not a lot of people on this planet that can handle that can come out of the other end of being that exposed and handle it like you are. And I think that's just gonna make you a better YouTuber, and the people that are still here that are following you, they're the real ones that know who you are.
Yeah, it's I don't know, it's all kind of wild, and it's still like it still flares up in strange ways, but there isn't anything you can do. Like like uh once you're flayed open and exposed to the world, it's like, okay, well that's that then, and that's fine. I didn't think that I was hiding my degeneracy too much, like and because I felt invincible, right? Like you're on that's cocaine side effect. It's like you feel fucking awesome, cool all the time, and like oh, and I said this on a different show. I was like, I can't go in a bathroom around this town. Like I can't go in one without remembering doing coke in that bathroom. Like
Almost every place you've ever been to in that town. It's just like, well, how long you lived there in that town?
Well, it was about 8 months of pretty regular cocaine use.
Okay, all right, I see.
But it's not that big of a town. But the reason I bring this up is because get away with it. Oh, like pretty nakedly doing this stuff, like all over the place. And you get away with it, and you get away with it, and you get away with it. You think you're just never going to get caught. Like, which is dumb, because up here, it's like people get caught all the time. But you're usually like, those people are sucking dick or stabbing someone to get their drugs, right? Like, you're not usually someone who's buying it and kind of just personal use. And so that being said, like, I didn't have conflicts with people that involved drugs. I didn't buy them locally. I was kind of just invincible in my head, and so I was pretty open about, like, within some limits, what I was doing. I didn't want any clips out there saying I was on drugs, but I wasn't really hiding it. And
I would be too worried about fentanyl being in it. I mean, I haven't done cocaine in 15 years, but
you got to do two things. One, you have to have a dealer that like is good and not like you're not just going and buying it off the street, like
right. I mean, I'd be too scared, man.
And then the other thing you do is you test the shit out of it. Like you test it every time. But yeah, like, I don't know. The fentanyl thing is always a risk, but we tested every batch that came, that I got, because you don't want to die.
No, he's not using any more, chat. He would be thrown in prison. I think he prefers freedom to prison.
I like being free. Like, look, I liked doing drugs. They were fun. That's why people do them. And that's okay. It doesn't mean I'm going to do them again, or I want to do them again, or whatever. I have any trouble not doing them. Like, there are times where it's like, oh man, I would like to go out to a club or something like that. I don't really go to those places because I can't drink and I can't do drugs, and both of those are there. And if you're around a bunch of people who are drinking and doing drugs and you're not, it's kind of weird. So I just don't go there anymore. Like, it was always we live in a small town, so it was always like a big trip to go do like anything like that, to go out for the night and go to like a dance club or whatever is a 2-hour drive, and then typically a hotel stay. I don't have to do that anymore because we're not, you can't really, it's not as fun.
Right.
But that being said, like, it's okay. It's fine. Seeing the world soberly has its advantage. And
well, chat just made a good point. Why is your shirt so blue then?
It's a good fucking
sus. That's sus. I know.
Wearing red pants.
You're wearing red pants?
Yeah.
Not a lot of people can pull off red pants.
Red pants, blue shirt. I have a white jacket, but I took it off because I had it on my.
Yeah.
You saw it on the other stream.
Yeah, I saw your nice blazer. I know. I have a nice suit too. You're absolutely right. If you get a nice suit that fits you, they're comfortable. I don't, you know, good.
Yeah.
You feel good. You know, you feel like you it just elevates your state of mind. I feel whenever I'm wearing a suit, I do feel a little bit more.
If nothing else,
productive, alpha, maybe.
It prepares me like for the day. Like if I'm gonna go out,
a white jacket, huh? Oh, we got him, chat. We got him.
Be caught wearing one of those.
No,
that's actually not true. I just got a brown jacket that my dad had bought, and he's like, I wore this for one event, and he's a little bit bigger than me. So I tried it on, and I was like, okay, I need to take it in and get it, adjusted. But I'm really looking forward to it because it's a nice fucking jacket. So I'm looking forward to that. But the other thing I've been doing lately is I just go to Goodwill and I buy everything that fits. Like,
awesome. That's the best.
Literally
everything, or
no, I'll clarify.
Okay.
Every button-up shirt that isn't boring, I buy that.
Okay.
I buy every jacket that fits. That is not black or gray because I have.
Oh,
but so
I see it. Okay.
But like, it doesn't matter like how ridiculous they look. And then I buy pretty much any trouser style pant because if they don't fit, like that fit the waist, if they don't fit. If they're not long enough or whatever, I'll get them made into really short shorts because you can't buy short shorts anymore. So I'm gonna take a stack of shorts in and be like a 3-inch inseam. That's it. Nothing longer. Shorter's better. And
yeah.
So I'm building up a stash of those to take to get them hemmed up into shorts.
I'm gonna show you the so when we were in Chicago, me and the rest of my Based App Boy team, like the guys who were staying at my house, we went to a Goodwill and we bought matching outfits. All right. And the jeans, I ended up going, let's cut them all off and do like short shorts. So this has been for members on my channel for a while. So I'm just going to show everyone now, but here is, here's my squad. And the short shorts. This is in my dad's backyard. Yeah. Oh, there's Call. You guys, I'm flashed his face there for you.
Years ago, I did one of those mud runs, right? Where it's a 5K, but there's just a shitload of mud everywhere and like different obstacles. And
cool.
My buddies and I did it. We all ran together, although we didn't end up that way. But yeah, we wore fucking lumberjack like we ripped the sleeves off of flannels and the shortest jeans we could possibly make. It was great.
Awesome.
Just trucking through the fucking mud.
I did one of those in Arizona once. It was like the monkey. They called it the monkey something. I don't remember what it was. A Tough Mudder, maybe. I don't know.
My favorite one,
the whole thing.
My favorite one was it was a zombie one. Where you had football flags. So you had 3 of those bad boys. And then you would come up to the obstacles and there were people who were there as zombies. And so you have to run around them or through them or whatever. And if they took away your flags, like if they took away all 3, you were out. Like you had to quit.
It's like your health.
Yeah. You had to.
That's fun. That's cool. I like that premise.
It was a blast. And except that right at the end, they had like 3 guys that were in shape and they were fresh. Like they hadn't just run a 5K up a fucking mountain. And, and so you're like, okay, I only have a little bit to go. And then there's these 3 guys just sitting there and they they didn't even pretend to be zombies. They were just full speed. Like we're going to take your flag. And so my buddies and I, like we all had 1 life left and my one buddy had 2. And so we huddled around him. And so it was like, we ran like Ender's Game. Like they were picking us off. We went,
nice.
Come on. It was
cool.
That was a lot of fun. I liked that.
That's cool. I like that. Well, Nick, I'm going to cut us off here. Usually around this time, my son wakes up. he's been waking up at night, and my wife gets up at 6 in the morning, 6:30. It's almost 2. So I'm gonna get out of here. But that was a blast. I want to join you on your stream like we used to. I want you.
Yeah.
You're always welcome back here whenever you want. It's great to see you streaming again. I love being in your chat. I love the community that you have, and it's fun. It's fun watching the haters and just ignoring them because I don't care. Even real quick, did you see like the comments that people were writing on my post on X?
Oh no, let me look at it real quick.
Let's see. I'll just read a few of them. Let's see. We got.
Yeah.
I wonder who the next guest is going to be in the future. Jack Murphy, maybe? It's like, oh, okay. That's original. Rare Crigler L. If I want to watch a sexual degenerate, I'll just pull up a random stream on Twitch. That's not bad, actually.
It's like, you should do that. Like, pull up a stream on Twitch if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, it seems like it.
I feel like I'm a sexual regenerate.
A regenerate. There you go. I've never heard of that before.
I just made it up.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, see? Chat, thank you very much. Check out my video. I just put it up. I'm working on another one as well. I'm just going to keep banging out these videos. No show tomorrow night. And then, of course, Friday night, jam night. I am going to bust out my loop station and show you some of the stuff that I've been practicing and working on and have fun with it. So, chat, you're the best. Nick, you are awesome. I love you, buddy. It's great to see you back.
It's fun. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Hell yeah. I'll see you next time. Cheers, chat.